Okay. 38.4 million people in the United States of America are currently diagnosed with a form of diabetes. Hi, my name is Bailey Burrow, and I've been a type 1 diabetic for the last 17 years of my life. I've experienced the ups and downs of type 1 diabetes, and 1 in 10 people that you meet in America today currently have a form of diabetes. So it's essential that we not only understand the condition as a whole, but we also understand the difference between type 1 and type 2 diabetes. The difference between type 1 and type 2 diabetes is the way the body produces insulin as a whole. The causation of the two separate conditions also differs, as well as the manageability of the condition overall. Today we will discuss the pancreas organ and its role in insulin resistance as a whole. So type 1 diabetes is onset by an autoimmune response, whereas type 2 diabetes is triggered by insulin resistance. A study presented by Cleveland Clinic in 2021 states that insulin resistance is when the cells in the body don't respond well to insulin, which is a blood glucose controlling hormone. Insulin resistance is also proven to be worsened when body fat is at a high percentage resulting from a poor diet. Type 2 diabetes, those individuals do produce enough insulin to regulate their blood sugar. However, they have so much insulin resistance, usually from body fat, that their body can't interpret that insulin produced well enough. On the other hand, type 1 diabetics, it's an autoimmune response, as I stated, in which T cells attack insulin-producing beta cells. This phenomenon has been researched for years, but there's no clear answer as to why the body does this. It usually happens at a younger age, though, whereas type 2 diabetes is onset at a later age. Currently, the statistics are that type 1 diabetics make up 8% of the diabetic population, and type 2 diabetics make up 90% of the diabetic population. Insulin resistance usually is not present in type 1 diabetics, which is another really big difference in the two conditions. Moving on into the manageability of the two conditions overall. Manual insulin injections are required for blood sugar control in type 1 diabetics. Type 1 diabetics administer insulin through insulin injections or an insulin pump. For example, I currently am on insulin injections. So every time that I eat a meal that contains carbohydrates, I have to manually correct and administer insulin to myself. In 2017, Diabetes UK released a statement that explained how type 1 diabetics have to closely count their carbs. Once again, I mentioned that I take insulin injections for my type 1 diabetes. I had wings with my family tonight, which are low in carbs, but the sauce was high carbs. So I had to count my carbs and administer 21 grams of insulin manually to myself. It's proven that type 1 diabetics also experience worse symptoms in contrast to type 2 diabetics due to more extreme hypoglycemic reactions and hyperglycemic reactions. Type 2 diabetes can be controlled without insulin administration. A healthy diet can help control type 2 diabetes, increase levels of exercise. Insulin resistance meds can also be taken for type 2 diabetics. There's even a nasal spray out there that helps keep blood sugar levels under control in type 2 diabetics. Moving on into the long-term result of these conditions, there's currently no cure for type 1 or type 2 diabetes. However, type 2 diabetes, there's no end-all cure, but it's possible to put the condition into resistance. Like I said, an active lifestyle can help maintain the blood sugar levels in type 2 diabetics. A low-calorie diet with reduced sugars and calories can help lose weight, which has also been proven to put type 2 diabetes into remission. On the other hand, you cannot put type 1 diabetes into remission. There currently is no cure for the condition overall. There have been studies such as the one conducted by Bahar and Belovopoli in 2022, found that a pancreas transplant can be efficient in restoring pancreas function. However, it's not an FDA approved procedure yet, and it's still currently being researched, so there is no to date official cure for type 1 diabetics. So like I said, the overall manageability for these two conditions does differ, and there currently isn't a cure for either of them, unfortunately. In conclusion, although type 1 diabetics and type 2 diabetics suffer from similar symptoms, they're really two completely different conditions that are commonly misunderstood to be the same condition in society. Type 1 and type 2 diabetics differ in the onset of the condition, the manageability overall, and the search for remission or a cure for the conditions. Tens of millions of Americans, like I said, are suffering with diabetes to date, and we can do something as a group by continuing to support foundations that are searching for a cure. And I hope you guys can take away the information that I presented in this speech today and inform others around you in society so we can make a difference and help find a cure and spread awareness. Thank you for listening.